Apparently, Becca just got the notification about the title. The Fated Few episode question mark. Not really sure. Here, this will be one of those speaking sessions where you listen and either you get disgusted or you get those chills on the back of your neck when people are like,
"Oh, ASMR."
Yeah, that.
I hate that crap. I can't stand it. Like, I'm one of the people that is just like completely weirded out by it.
Let me sit and tap the microphone.
My brother finds it soothing, but he's shown me a few, and I'm just like, I cannot even get in.
Yeah,
like
or like when someone's sitting there tapping their nails on stuff.
Oh my gosh! Hey, no, thank you.
Yep. Okay. Well, I've got that piece down, so at least there's some sustenance, and I won't go completely bonkers. If I can keep this microphone from tipping, it'd be great. Okay. All right. We have everybody. Dormolum, Clandon, Rora, Roland, Vinfina. You ready to get started?
I don't know, Fuzzy. Are you ready? Are you ready to deal with this situation we got brewed here?
I don't. Not. All right. So.
I'm just real tired of this pacifist we have in our group.
This pacifist's tired of this anarchist. Kidding. It's all gravy.
I don't know. I saw some things posted on Facebook after that last battle. I was like, ooh.
Oh. Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. That awkward moment when, honestly, for me, I was like, okay, how do I resolve this with a bunch of neutral or some chaotic evil creatures? What are they gonna do? So I don't know. We'll find out. So, before we get started, I guess just some quick notes. We are still doing the Extra Life 2018 this year, same as we've done in years past. So our goal this year is to hit $1,000 again. So far, we've already have $15 donated and $200 that has been, I don't know what you want to call that, pledged to be put in there. So that'll be exciting.
When does that start?
It's all year long. It's open all year long, but the date is November 3rd is the date that the actual, I guess their event takes place. But we leave it open year round. If you're interested, I think for those who are in the Team Nom Discord, there's a link in the announcements section that can actually, that'll get you hooked up to that if you guys want to participate. Participation can range from just sharing to donations, all that kind of other kind of fun. Trying to think, is there any other announcements? Yesterday, obviously, we have our Thursday D&D matches as well that are DM'd by Roland, aka Nibiru or Corey.
You can call me Corey. I don't care.
Corey. Okay. Try and not use people's real names unless they want me to. So, but yeah, welcome everybody. I hope everybody's having a great week. So, let's get this party started, shall we? If you must blink, do it now. Pay careful attention to everything you see and hear, no matter how unusual it may seem. And please be warned, if you fidget, if you look away, if you forget any part of what I tell you, even for an instant, then our band of heroes will surely perish. Is everyone sitting comfortably? Well, please attend carefully as we begin. So, last time, as you guys recall, there was a lot of fighting, or kind of just getting around your mind around kind of the cave itself. Clandon and Aurora, after having been transported using a runestone that you had found in one of the corpses, having basically bamfed you off to another part of the cave, you were separated from your companions, at which point some of the others, both Roland, Benfina, and Dormorlum, each in turn encountered a sorcerer by the name of Zarak, and he, after kind of making his grand entrance, introducing himself to the party, and after a little bit of a discussion, you guys agreed that you had common interests and that you were all kind of were in the same boat, or kind of had similar things going on that you wanted to try and help each other. So he, having this kind of commitment from you guys, went ahead and casted a scrying spell and was able to help locate your friends Aurora and Clandon. Aurora and Clandon, after having been separated from the party, found themselves in one of the labyrinths of the actual Wave Echo Cave, and upon exploring this cavern a little bit further in the labyrinth, they came across an ooze, and essentially fought this giant booger monster, to the point at which Benfina nearly had fallen, but they were able to persevere. I'm sorry, and Aurora was not Benfina, I'm sorry. I don't know why I always flip the names between the two of them. They're not even close. Aurora and Clandon both were able to kind of get a handle of the situation after a few minutes of kind of frantic slashing and additional. It's not a. I'm trying to get the right name here for you. The ochre jelly. Hey, thanks for the follow.
Ochre. Mm-hmm.
Ochre jelly, and after having sliced it a few times, had split into multiple pieces, and had begun its assault on these other two. So, yeah, thanks, Vorpal Sword. Yeah, so just letting you, as far as everything went, you guys were able to overcome the ochre jelly, and upon kind of coming further into the cave, into this large open cavern, you were able to find a large darkened pool, at which point Aurora and Clandon both decided that, nope, this wasn't for me, and they started to head back the other way, where they encountered Zarek, as well as the rest of the group, kind of rounding around the corner. Upon having this, everyone come back together and have this joyful reunion amongst companions, coming to the stairway, you guys found another door and another cavern that had been collapsed in this part of the actual cave. And pushing forward, you decided to set a trap. So Clandon and Dormorlum, using their cunning and their devices, and Aurora readying her bow, everyone sprung this trap. The bugbear came out. Dormorlum got the jump on him, kind of knocked a few of his teeth out, chopped some toes off. At which point, some quick thinking on Benfina's part, decided that she wanted to try and defuse the situation and perhaps be able to protect her friends in the process. At which point, she was able to help talk down these bugbears with a lot of very high charisma rolls. And we were left with the point where the bugbears had kind of gone back to their occupation, and being bugbears and kind of very lazy creatures, but very ferocious when provoked, went back about their business. Upon this spell dissipating, Dormorlum realizing the having been hoodwinked, and the bugbear inside suddenly feeling this extreme. Thanks, Dwarf. I assume that's you, Mr. Dormorlum. If not, thanks for the follow. You guys came in. You hear this roaring from the room as this bugbear realizes what has happened. Toes missing. Dormorlum, in frustration, dashes forward through the open door into this room full of bugbears. That is where you kind of had left off. And as a reminder, for those of you, it has been since you guys have dipped your stuff into the green flame. Any of the items that you had, it has been about 3 hours roughly. So if you have anything that had a timer of 3 hours or less, you'll just take off that extra bonus for that. But the rest of them can continue going until they're full, kind of whatever you want to call it.
Still 9 hours left on my torch.
Perfect. So, oh, by the way, for anybody, the Vorpal Sword that popped in, that's actually Amy Vorpal from Nerdist. So if you want to go and check out her Twitch page, I know she's trying to make affiliate, so we'll help her out.
Cool.
So, let's see. Everybody in here, we still have the turn order. I maintained that from last time, so you do have the bugbears, and everybody's still in there what they had rolled. I'll let, if you want to, since you weren't here, Roland, if you'd like to re-roll, I'd allow that.
No, 5 is pretty much what I expect.
Is that pretty much what you expect? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
Then you're good.
That's about what I expect.
Okay. So I've gone ahead and I've reset everything down in there. And so you know, this red mark over here, this is not a blood stain. This is not a thing. This is an actual person. His name is Zark. or Zaron, and he is a tiefling sorcerer. So, and he is here to help you.
Looks like the devil to me.
This thing right here.
No, yeah. Let me put the nameplate on. Boop.
Okay, I totally can't see him at all. That's why I was wondering.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's around. He's over here behind the corner. So, as you guys just kind of set, Venfina, you see Dora Morlum rushing into this room. The bugbear that reacts first is basically the bugbear kind of sitting. He's going to hold his action, kind of seeing this, looking over the situation, and if anything comes in his range, then he's going to attack it. And I have that ready. Zaron is going to hold his action, again, hiding behind the wall itself, kind of looking to the rest of you, trying to understand the dynamics of this team. He's going to hold his action. Future Zaron. Other bugbear turning in kind of confusion, looking at the other bugbear. He's going to turn and look at Dora Morlum as he comes through the door and just rush at you. He's kind of like done with the buffoonery. He was already kind of ready to smack some things around, so he's going to come at you with his club. Bugbear. Effect. That out of the way, sure. Nope. Work for me today. Dora Morlum basically is running into it, but it's not a surprise round. You guys already had completed a surprise round circuit. And so right now we're into just regular combat, initiative order. No.
If Venfina's talking, I can't hear her on chat.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm not holding the button.
Okay.
That changes it. Okay.
Yeah. So he comes and swings back. He is going to go ahead and he's going to hit you with his Morning Star. So he pulls back. And here we go. Morning Star. All right. So 13 is his attack.
It misses.
Okay, cool. So as he swings, you kind of duck out of the way, and the force of this mace hits the frame of the door, and you just see an explosion of shattering, just sparks and just flint and other things just into the doorway itself. This bugbear kind of roars in your face. Venfina, it's your turn. Dora Morlum, you're on deck. You gonna put him in the sleeper hold? What you got?
Let me see.
In 1 second, I'm going to close this door.
Okay, I'm going to cast my Shield of Faith on Dora Morlum.
Okay, so Shield of Faith. What? All right, Shield of Faith. So, Dora Morlum, you feel as kind of as you're rushing in, and you duck. You feel this warm kind of surrounding feeling encompass around you. As you look over your shoulder, you do see Venfina, a little bit disappointed in her face at this circumstance, but she is backing you and supporting you. So, yeah, so you have +2 to your AC.
Hold my action. I can only hold one action, right?
Correct. So you cannot hold a bonus action, but you can hold your action.
Well, I have 2 actions. I mean, I have 2 attacks.
So your 2 attacks is just whenever you take the attack action, you can hit twice.
Correct.
So if you hold the action to make an attack, when you make that attack, you will attack twice.
Correct. Because it's part of that first attack.
Okay. I hold that action.
Okay.
I'll hold my attack.
And what is the trigger?
If somebody attacks me.
Okay, if someone attacks you directly.
Correct.
Okay. One of these days we'll figure out how to teach kids that go leave me. Not today.
Yeah, my little 3-year-olds.
Right? Okay, so it's Dora Morlum. It is your turn. So this bugbear over your head. What are you doing?
So I basically ignore the bugbear and I turn and look at the other bugbear and say, I'm not through with you yet. I come here.
Okay.
That way I don't provoke attack.
Okay.
And I attack this guy right here.
Okay, so the guy that's kind of wallowing in his bed, still trying to get up.
Oh
Go
yeah,
ahead.
the one that I've tried to kill already.
Go ahead and make an attack. He is considered prone right now. So 8
Oh,
does not hit,
ow.
unfortunately.
Okay, well,
But you
here's
get
my-
advantage.
Yes,
for
you
it
do have an
being prone.
advantage. This is a melee attack against a prone creature.
Oh, there we go.
Much better. Yes, that hits.
I'm gonna smack him with the warhammer. This is single-handed.
Okay, so this is 9 bludgeoning damage. All right, so he's kind of laying there, and he's kind of sitting up, looking towards you. He's like, "Run," and whack! You hit him like right in the gut, and you hear, "Whoo," as the air leaves his lungs expeditiously. Go ahead and make your second attack, if you're going to make a second attack.
Oh yeah.
16
I've got-
just hits.
I've got
Go,
3 attacks here.
go
You
for
want
it.
to roll for crit?
You can roll a second time if you'd like to see if you can crit, and if you crit, we'll use the first roll values for your one-handed.
Yeah, no.
Doesn't crit. Okay, so 10 slashing damage. Okay, so as you're kind of coming through, how are you finishing off this?
So
This
as I
poor
smack him,
defenseless bugbear.
smack him while he's prone and he is up, I come down with Hugh, my battle axe, right on the neck and decapitate him right in his bed.
Okay, make me a strength check.
Or at least I
This is all
tried.
messed up.
We're gonna see how he dies. Definitely. I just want to see how much of a fatality you did, or if it's just a brutality or a 6. Okay, so you go through in the sinuous neck of this. You come at him and you're just like whack, and then you come back again. Whoom! You bring down the sword and you hear the sickening thunk as it embeds itself firmly into the throat, but it doesn't make all the way through the head. But it's enough that the muscles here are severed to where the head kind of falls back and just your bugbear is dead.
Good. And then, as I do that with the axe there, I come
Mhm.
back around with my warhammer to the guy that's behind me
Okay.
and swing at him
All right.
and probably miss.
Let's see. So you come back at him for a 13 misses. Yes.
So as I'm busy going for the throat there, I swing wildly behind me to try and hit the guy behind me and miss. And that would be it for my turn.
Okay. Perfect. First bugbear is dead. The other bugbear, seeing what's going on, he's going to pick up one of his javelins and he's going to throw it at you. Does a 6 hit? Probably not. But he
No.
throws it at you, and you kind of duck out of the way, and you see the javelin itself hits the stone wall, and more sparks fly through the air as it kind of falls to the floor with a. All right, next bugbear. This other one as well. He's going to take another javelin and throw it at you. 17.
That misses.
Mrs. Kemp. So he throws another one, and this one you kind of catch between your as it's flying towards you. You catch it between your two weapons,
My
kind of
warhammer and my battle axe.
and you throw them. You kind of do this shink, and it throws it up and changes the trajectory up into the apps behind you, and it clatters off in the corner of the room. Both of them
So,
just roar and
Dora,
just
you got this
aggravation.
then, right? Like, it sounds like you pretty much just got this. Badass dwarf over here.
Aurora,
Kind of helps that I already wounded that bugbear the last time.
right?
Before we got calmed down.
It's true. Aurora, I don't remember. It looks like you had an action held, but I believe it's not been held, so I'm going to take that off. Same with
Yeah, I did have it held in case it was some like
Something attacked.
A fight broke out.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go into the room with Doral Morlem and start some fun times, I guess.
Okay, go ahead. So from where you're standing, behind Venfina, you see into the room. You should be able to see. Actually, I can actually look and see what you can and can't see. Yeah, you should be able to see pretty much everything. So you're entering into the door. You have the bugbear immediately in front of you, as well as the other 3 bugbears in the room. What do? You no matter what's anything. I won't metagame.
Do you hand Roland that amazing mace that you found?
I found an amazing mace. I don't remember.
You don't even remember. It was in
You
the
did.
Soul Forge area.
Yeah, you did. You found like this glowing hammer that you identified as Lightbringer, and then you're hiding it from me.
I totally forgot that. You're on the other side. Come to me. I'll bring it. I'll give it to you. But
Perfect.
yeah.
Requires
You're like
a
way
tournament.
over there though.
Like you just hear down the tunnel. Give Roland that hammer.
Then as she
Okay,
pulls the
I'm
hammer out, it says
gonna-
on the bottom, there's a label that says requires attunement.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna attack. This-
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack. This is with your longbow.
yes, oh, crap.
Are you doing it with sharpshooter or just regular?
I don't know.
Just as a reminder, if you do sharpshooter, it removes 5. So if you roll a 10, you'll for your attack will only be 5, but it will increase the damage a lot. All right. So 22 does hit. Roll for damage. Five piercing damage. Okay. So as you kind of draw the bow, again, pulling another one of the gooseneck feathers that you had to custom made for yourself, firing this arrow, full of fury and anger. The arrow pierces into this bugbear as he lets go of this javelin and thunk, knocks him backwards a little bit. And he's definitely aware of your presence now. Okay, 15. Let's see. This guy does not have his shield on him, so that would be 14. So it does hit.
Boom.
Oh wow.
Boom. Okay.
That's
So
like
the-
Robin Hood hitting an arrow and then shooting through his own arrow.
Exactly. That's exactly what happens then. So you pull another one out, and you train your eye, and you're like, watch this. And the arrow goes through. That one that was deeply embedded in his shoulder goes through, and you see it split out the backside. And when the brambles from this other arrow just kind of splinter and shoot around inside of him, causing even more damage than what would otherwise have been possible.
He gets
And-
another shot.
And he's
Yes, he does.
at this point, he's looking a little bit incredulous, like, holy cow, that was a lot of damage. That was the 2 attacks. Did you have any bonus attacks?
Yes, that was my 2 attacks.
Okay. And
No, I don't have any bonus. I'm good.
okay, Clandon, it's your turn. Blink Dog, you're on deck after that Roland.
Do I have a shot?
You are at the bottom of the stairs and you're looking into the door. You might be able to hit this front bugbear, but from
That's what I'm looking at.
a mechanics perspective, he's probably got half cover on you from those stairs because you're looking at like half of him. Plus, you got Venfina kind of in front of
Remind me what half cover does.
you. Disadvantage.
Okay. I'll give it a shot.
Go for it.
Good old trusty longbow. Nice.
I'm incorrect. It's +2 to bonus to their AC. So you'll just roll normal, which will be the one on the left. So 20 minus 2, 19, 18. Yes, that'll hit. Roll for damage. So Vinfina, you hear the whistling of an arrow flying through the air as it flies past you, doing the whole archer's. Clannon is well versed in shooting arrows around corners, which is a real thing, by the way. Look it up on YouTube. And you see this arrow fly through and hits this bugbear in the middle of the room. Okay. On this, remind me the 7 piercing damage. What is that? That's for your.
I think the cat may have done that. Sorry, just the 11.
Oh, okay. I was just wanting to make sure, like, if I didn't know if
she's
you
just
were
trying to
doing
help
something
out.
extra.
I don't know how
Extra
she did that.
damage.
She pushed a button on the keyboard.
I'm
What's
gonna
the shortcut for that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna get rid of these nameplates again so that it's easier. So just
And then
know who you are.
I'll go ahead and make a. He's still alive, right?
Yes, he is still standing.
I'll go
You
ahead and take
hit him
my,
and
a second shot.
he looks a little incredulous. They're still trying to understand the numbers of people that are coming in.
Man, these rolls.
They just keep going.
My
Come on.
goodness! We should take you guys to Vegas. 7 damage.
There's the 7.
Yes.
If
7
Vegas does
damage.
things with D20, sure.
Absolutely.
We should start convincing him that's how they should gamble on the NFL games.
Gambling
D20.
is life.
And I'm done. I'm not gonna do any.
Okay. Okay, from there now, Blink Dog in the back of the room. Is the Blink Dog doing Vinfina? And then Roland, you're on deck.
Oh, sorry.
Vidax.
What is the dog's name again?
Vidax.
Yeah, FedEx.
FedEx?
FedEx, yes. With a V.
Vid.
Get your package there safe and sound. 2 days.
So get there in a blink of an eye.
VIDAX.
Yeah, VIDDAX.
Here goes the cat again.
I don't know what she's hitting. Okay, it's enter apparently.
Oh, nice. Pew! You must have that. Oh, it's probably clicking the link, and when you hit enter, it's just doing it again. So.
Okay,
Yeah,
it stopped once I clicked back onto the other screen. We're good. I won't do any more phantom attacks unless it works.
Okay. VidAx is gonna hold his action as well.
Okay, so he holds his action. What is the trigger on this hold?
If I get attacked.
If you get attacked. Okay, got it. Roland, your turn. Tiger Lily on deck.
So Roland kind of shakes his head, coming out of this kind of indecisive daze that he's been in for the past little while. He hasn't really known which side he wanted to fall on with the party. And now that the bugbears are attacking, he knows exactly where he's supposed to be. And I'm going to go ahead and move. There's no penalty for the stairs, right?
No, stairs, no. There's no penalty on them.
Okay, I'm going to
So
move
you have
6.
full movement.
And then I can still see. Can I still see that bugbear? in that doorway
I'd say,
from-
yeah, you can, you catch it. You'd be able to see it.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use Sacred Flame on him.
All right.
So he needs to make me a dex saving throw or take 2d8 radiant damage.
Dexterous saving throw. He rolled a N.
Okay, 13 is the
AC. Okay.
requirement.
And this is going to be 1d8. Go for it.
2d8,
2d8. Perfect.
because I am level 5.
Roll it. 11. All right. So, upon seeing and getting reinvigorated from seeing this fight kind of really confusing, turn to more, stable, that thing's bad, kill it. How do you want it to die?
So I take the torch that is still in my hand and I kind of weave it through the air, and this halo of green flame
Okay.
forms and kind of hangs, and then I just thrust the torch forward, and that halo goes and just like almost like saw blade sears through.
Destructo disc.
Yeah, almost like that.
Perfect. All right, so you see this, and you see the bugbear kind of sit there, and this light passes through the bugbear, and he kind of as it just splits him in half, and top half of him falls off.
And then I'll turn to Vamfina and I'll go, "It was a good attempt."
And I'll throw up an arm and just try and protect my face from guts coming at me.
Sploosh.
I think it failed.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Holy crap! Did you add Fog of War on this?
I did.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I added it on the other one and I liked it. Makes it helpful for me.
I'm covered in bugbear blood and guts.
Yeah. You are covered. So like as this happens, it's like he was aiming for you. So the split as it hits the side of him, it's just like that artery just sprays right in your direction and you're just smattered. You're looking like
it just enrages me and I just get like this blood rage going on.
all right. Lick your lips. Strawberries.
And that is it for me.
Oh, Google's listening. It's like lick your lips, strawberries. Don't search that. Stop.
At least it's
All right.
not Alexa.
It's true. It's true.
Don't say that. She'll hear you.
Mine's in the other room.
Alexa, turn the lights off.
All right. So, Dormorlin, that was you did yours. Roland, did you have any bonus actions you'd like to expend?
That's it.
All right. Tiger Lily, it's your turn.
Meow.
As if she heard you, my Tiger Lily's like all over Steve now.
Is that really your name?
Yeah, we have a cat named Tiger Lily.
That's awesome. And Steve shot her in the butt.
Yeah, she actually has a broken tail. But, I mean,
She's not the one that's been
Oh my
attacking.
gosh.
That's
Kiki.
yeah, that's oh wait, no, it is Tiger Lily that's been attacking. Yeah, just use her last roll. I think it was an 11.
She's getting she's going for blood.
All right, she can move. Is it 60, right?
Let me open up her sheet real quick. Tiger Lily, like on hers, she has a 50 feet move speed and a climbing of 40. And if she moves 20 feet, she can do her pounce action where she can make an attack and do an extra bite.
Is each square 5 or 10?
Each square is 5. Let me double check. Might be different. Double check. I'm pretty sure it's 5 on this.
It's normally 5, right?
I'm pretty sure it's 5.
Normally it's 5.
Normally it's 5, but right now this particular map, 1 square is 10 feet.
I have to move back then.
Okay.
I can make it to the top of the stairs.
Okay, no worries.
That is one heel.
Okay,
bed in the
so
corner.
if 1 is 10, then I can just make it inside the door.
Okay. So she goes ahead and she'll run inside. And she sees in the back, there are still 3 bugbears in this particular vicinity. And the one bugbear, seeing her kind of enter into this space, he's going to go ahead and use his reaction, or his held action, and he's going to throw a spear.
Wait, what happened with her last time? Why is everybody... What happened?
What happened to who? Tiger Lily?
Never mind. Yeah, never mind.
You guys have had fights. You haven't done a long rest yet. Or a short rest either.
Okay.
So he's going to throw a javelin at her. And let's see if at least one of these attacks hits. That would be an 8. If it was with advantage, he would have rolled a natural 20. But So 8. I
Well,
assume
thank
misses.
goodness. It misses.
So you see this kind of clatters out into the hallway. She ducks underneath the body of the bugbear in front. And Venfina, you kind of just barely duck out of the way as the javelin comes flying past your head and down the hallway. She can do a dash action. Is she gonna hold her action? What would you like Tiger Lily to do?
If she does a dash action, can she get the bugbear right in front
She
of her?
can't act. She can get to him, but she cannot do an action. That would be taking your action to run twice as fast or twice as far.
Okay, then she'll just hold it.
Okay. All right. So she's holding it, and what is the trigger?
Yeah, let's go with that. If he moves.
Okay. If he moves into her space, she's going to attack, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So if he's within, I think, what's her range? Is it +5 or is it just 5? Let's look at it real quick.
I don't even know how to tell that.
So on there, when you look at their attack, it'll see reach 5 feet means that she can reach 5 feet further than just a regular melee attack with her bite attack. Same with her claw attack. So if he comes within 10 feet of her, she can kind of pounce out and swipe at him.
Mr. Dungeon Master.
What's up?
I'm looking at the Fog of War here, and it looks like there are bigger squares on the map. Are we sure those aren't supposed to be 10 feet and the red squares are 5?
Let me turn off the thing real quick.
Hey, look, it's Tiger Lily.
Hey, kitty. Hey, kitty. Let's see. 1 unit, 10 feet.
Because 4 of
let me
these
turn.
squares
I'm gonna
make one big square.
let me kill the grid real quick. Change the grid side. Oh no, I'm not gonna do that. I won't do it. I think you're right. The red squares are 5 feet. The black squares are 10 feet. Because I can't see. It's offset just enough that I think you're good. I think you're right. So yes, these are 5 feet. My mistake.
Clandon.
Oh, they can I change?
Yes, she can do. Go ahead and retcon and move her where you want it to.
Sorry, I don't mean to.
No, you're
change
good.
everything again. I just wanted.
No, you're good. I was just looking down at the bottom of the map, the bottom where the legend says whatever the square sizes were, and I was taking for granted that the red ones aren't necessarily the map ones. So
Yeah, because that's a new addition that you added, isn't it?
for the red squares,
ones?
the red ones is from Roll20. Yeah, Roll20 put that in after the fact, so that's something that's separate. I'm gonna turn off the 3D rolling because it's going really slow. I'm not sure. If it locks up, I'll turn it off, but for now it looks like we're okay. All right, so Aurora, she goes ahead and she's going in. She's going to pounce. He needs to make a strength saving throw.
She has to hit.
And
Strength.
what was the roll that you just did for a hit? I saw dice come out, but I'm not seeing the result of that in. Can you go ahead and make me a d20 roll?
Yeah.
For some reason, it's not showing up in the chat log. Definitely saw your dice come out, though. 19 definitely hits. And so he is going to roll to see if it's knocked prone. He rolls a 2. So the DC of 12, yes. So he's not knocked prone, but she is able to do the bite and the prone. If the tiger's prone, Panther can make one bite attack. So she can do her. You can do your swipe attack still, or your bite attack, depending on which one you want to do. But he is not knocked prone. Okay, so that would be for 5 slashing damage. She comes in and just eviscerates out of anger, seeing this javelin fly over her head. Pounces over the top of it, tries to get him on the ground, and just goes at him with her claws, and just you hear the sounds of a panther roaring in the room. Bugbear.
You can take that held action off of her.
Okay. Thank you for reminding me. All right, and then this bugbear, he is also going to kill his held action. He's going to retaliate and pull out his Morning Star. He's going to swing at her for 16. Does that hit?
Yes.
Okay, so he hits for 13 piercing damage.
Ow.
Yes.
Ouch.
All right.
Those morning stars tickle.
Normally it'd be a 1d8,
You
but he's a
mean
bugbear, so it's
meow.
2d8. Yeah. All right, so it hits for 13. So at this point, he hits, and you hear the groaning just kind of cry as Tiger Lily kind of recoils from this blow, and he laughs. Puny cat. At this point, Zaron, kind of seeing a little bit better the dynamics of what's going on here, he going to step out up here. Kind of get a kind of closer look here at what you guys have going. Is going to cast. You'll see from over your shoulder, Benfina. You see his hand, and he says, "Be still." And you see as his hand over your shoulder begins to well up with this purplish, brackish liquid in his hand, and it gets very gloopy, and he takes it and he throws it really hard at this bugbear here, using his acid splash.
Nice.
And let's see, DC dexterity save of 16. He makes it. 10. He does not make his dexterity save, so the bugbear takes the damage from acid splash, and that is going to be a acid damage of 5. Thanks for the follow. -5. Got it. All right, so he's down, Zarn, and he kind of dusts his hands, uses the remainder of his movement, and he steps back into the corridor and puts his back to the wall. That bugbear is expired. Venfina, it is your turn. Dormorlam, you are on deck.
Okay. Does anybody need healing?
Tiger Lily really does.
I'm missing some as well.
Are we sure? I healed her recently, and I don't know if it got documented though.
You did put. She was pretty low before from the previous fight with the ghouls, and you did dump a bunch of points into her. I added those to her health pool. The one thing that we didn't do at the end that you might be able to get one thing left on there. Landon, you had your healing spirit.
Oh,
and you
did
only
I
used it for
cast
like
that?
you used it 1 or 2
Yeah.
rounds, so you probably would have. I dumped a couple of those before deleting it. I dumped like 3 of them into Venfina, and then just got rid of it. But if you'd like, I'd allow like 1 if you wanted for
I don't remember casting it here.
giving it to him. You used it right here to up on the stairs because everyone was getting damaged.
Okay.
And before it was a smiley
Uh,
face, but I was moving it
Let's
because
see. It would have been hold on.
was it a 1d6?
Yeah, it's 1d6. Do you remember how many of those we had left?
If I threw 3 on her, and I want to say you did 2 of them on Aurora, and it's a full minute, right?
Yeah, I'm double checking that, but I believe so.
That 10 rounds.
Yeah, 1 minute I believe is
10 rounds.
Because of her health cap, I'll allow 1, but she wouldn't have been able to overheal. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, sure.
So I'd allow the retcon on the 1. So if you want to roll for that, we can throw that under health pool.
Sure. How many was it?
Just 1 round, whatever your.
Okay.
Because if it's D6, then add 2 additional hit points. And that'll keep it from getting weird with overhealing. Got that, Aurora?
Yep, I just added it, so she has 4 points now.
Perfect. And I'm only allowing it because you actually have a cat named Tiger Lily.
and I showed her to you.
And she's adorable.
Yes, indeed. All right, go ahead. Tiger Lily just got beat to death with a Morning Star, yes. Just now.
Okay, so I'm gonna go up to Tiger Lily and heal her.
Okay, so you approach. We did hit the top of the round, by the way, so if you had any reactions or anything else that you were going to use, those... or if you have any bonus, or not bonus, yeah, actual reaction actions, then those have refreshed. All right, so you run up, what are you doing?
I'm going to do lay on hands.
Okay, so kind of in the midst of this battle, she pulls back, her ears kind of back, her eyes are very, just tense and taut, and she's in the middle of kind of like battle mode. She looks back at you as you reach out for her. She allows you to touch her. She's seeing that it's you and not another enemy. And how many, because you dumped quite a few in her last time. How many do you have left?
I have 10 left.
10 left, okay. Go ahead, and how many would you like to dump in?
I'm fine with doing all of that. That's fine.
Okay, so that go ahead and add 10 hit points to Tiger Lily.
Thank you.
By the way, one of the viewers in the chat, Alcine, likes your picture, Dormorlum. So
She purrs and does that little cat nudge thing.
okay, so
That's
she kind of
because
comes.
You always gotta kill the Timo.
Now I can't remember. Has anyone here read the book Life of Pi? Anyone?
Well, they made the movie too.
They made the movie too. There was a name, I can't remember what it is for the life of me, but the large cats actually make this sound when they mean you no harm. It's kind of like purring, but it's not. So, whatever that word is, use that in your head. I just said it. No. All right. So, Vinfina, you've done lay on of hands. What are you doing for... Do you have any bonus actions that you're taking?
Yeah, I'm going to... Who is right... Let me just ping it.
That's Dor.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm going to just disengage and come back there.
All right. Perfect. I'm going to move my camera over here off screen. 3 of them in my face. I don't like seeing myself damn much. All right. Go ahead, Dormorlum. What are you doing?
Alrighty. I'm coming up. Seeing our little buddy here get tickled by a morning star. I'm gonna come up here.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, come back here. And I'm gonna swing my warhammer.
Okay.
For
Go
15.
ahead. For 15 damage. Perfect.
no,
15
for 15.
attack, and I'm sorry, it does do.
Yeah, and 15 damage.
And 15 damage.
you
we'll take
just hit.
it. Oh god.
You're
That'd
lucky
be 8
these guys don't have their shields on them. So the only guy who had a shield you killed. So 8 bludgeoning damage. All right. So he feels it. As you kind of come around him, he's kind of looking a little bit feral as you kind of go behind him. He kind of expects his buddy to have his back, but apparently he didn't. So 25 also hits. Roll for damage.
Take an additional 10 slashing.
10 slashing damage. All right. So on this one, you come in with the warhammer, and you come in right on his patella. You see his kneecap cave in backwards as it falls, and he kind of starts to slump to one side. And then, how are you finishing him with your battle axe?
I'm gonna just slice him right through the gut.
All right. So as he hits with his knee, he tumbles backwards towards your direction, and his torso being completely left open. You just take him and open him up like a Christmas turkey, just right across the belly, and he just flops to the floor, kind of twitching for a second as he just lets his last breath. The steaming entrails still smelly loom in the air.
And I just stand there with a wicked grin of triumph on my face, just looking over the corpse.
Yes. And next up on the line, this other bugbear, after having been shot by Aurora, he is going to run toward you. If I can get the right button and get the right screen, is 30 feet. So he's going to run right up to you, Aurora, and Venfina, and he is going to just come at. Sorry, Venfina, when he runs right up to you and he pulls out his morning star, with this arrow he's bleeding out on the one side. He's going to swing as hard as he can with his morning star. Let's see. It's 20. Does a 20 hit?
It does.
All right, so that will be 9 piercing damage. So as you kind of brace.
So does that engage Vidax?
Vidax, it's not his turn yet. It would, but he's kind of a long way away, and his action was to assist you, correct?
Well, he was just holding his action in case I was attacked.
Correct. And what was the action that he was holding? To attack?
Yeah, it would be an attack.
Okay, so he can go up to 40 feet, it looks like, with his teleport. He could teleport and bite if it's within 40 feet. Check that. Otherwise, it might not work out. Where is the ruler? They move the ruler? Oh, it's a different icon. All right. Yes, he could blink. He could blink if you'd like. No, he's way back there. You never had him move. No, that's Zaron. You see that name underneath it? This is Zaron.
Oh, you took the names away.
Not all the names. Roland, do you see Zaron?
The only name I see is Aurora, actually.
Yeah, that's the only one I see.
It's probably because line of sight. Yeah.
Sorry, I thought Vidax was whatever his name is.
No, you're good. He could use his blink ability, but and then I believe he gets one bite attack.
He would use his blink.
All right. So in the midst of all this, you take this as he's coming through, and you're bracing yourself, and you feel the sickening crunch as it hits against your side. But immediately you see this kind of purplish, just a puff of kind of like a fey material just into being. You see this large blink dog run out in the midst of this and try and latch onto the bugbear. Go ahead and roll me a bite attack, please, for Vidax. Okay. That is a 15. That does hit. Roll for damage.
So was I hit?
You were hit, yes, for 9 piercing damage.
Sorry, 9. I didn't do that.
Okay. Thank you for your honesty. So his bite, see if I click it, if that does it. Yes, so for 4 piercing damage, as he kind of comes through, the bugbear overextends himself, completely swinging, leaving himself wide open, and immediately you see Vidax just bamf into being, and goes straight for the throat of the bugbear, dragging him to the ground. And you see, in just moments, he eviscerates the jugular of this bugbear, and he dies. Not Vidax, but the other guy. Okay. All right. So there's one remaining bugbear in the room, looking around, seeing all of his brothers fall quickly. You see him just kind of instill himself with rage. He looks to this door behind him here. You can now see, as you're all in the room, at least those who are able to see it, that door is barricaded. So obviously he is unable to kind of flee or escape. So seeing he has no no recourse. He's going to gather himself, and he is going to go for Dora Morlum.
Not Dora.
Dora Morlum does a 19 hit. How many rounds does that plus 2 AC?
It's 10 minutes.
Okay. All right, so it's
And
still
what
active.
did you roll?
That is a 20. Sorry,
20
19.
hits.
19 is what he rolled. I'm sorry.
19 hits.
Okay, so 8 piercing damage. So you feel in the back of your neck, on your pauldron, as he comes down and just smashes this into your shoulder. You feel 8 piercing damage as just the crushing force, the just brute force of these creatures comes down.
Yeah.
And see, all right, and from there it is now Aurora's turn. Landon, you're on deck.
I'm ready.
You hear in the side the guttural roar of the bugbear. I will avenge my brothers.
How tall is that like circle thing in the middle? Can I shoot over that?
The circle thing in the middle, it's just it's like a fire pit. Yes, you can shoot over it.
Okay. So I'm gonna shoot at it then. The 17 hit.
17 definitely hits. Roll for damage. And this is with the sharpshooter too, so.
Yeah.
Ooh. Bye, Felicia. So this arrow, your first arrow, goes ahead and it shoots as he's coming down, and you see him smash into Dormorlum. Dormorlum moves just out of the way. You shoot the first arrow, which hits him in the shoulder, and you can see that it struck true in his because at his arms kind of like starts twitching, convulsing, whatever. He breaks off the end of the arrow. What do you do next?
Oh, he's not dead yet. Yeah, I'll shoot him again.
Remember, at the beginning of this game, one of these could kill all of you. You guys are doing good.
I remember that.
15 hits. Roll for damage. Finfina is on fire. Aurora, gosh, freaking dang it. Ah! Aurora is on fire tonight.
Hey, as a local human farm boy, I can confirm that all elf women look alike. And,
It's true.
And so it's okay to
No,
get
it's
their
okay.
names confused.
I'm sorry. Felicia. All right, so
I'm really old. Come on.
it's true. So as you kind of shoot, you shot the one arrow and he breaks it off and he snarls at you. You guys hear just this almost like the sound of an eagle cry. As this arrow just through the air. You don't even see her draw. You don't see anything else. She's kind of putting her bow away, and the bugbear looks a little bit dismayed. But as he kind of slumps forward and then lands on his face, you see the back of his head. The impact of this arrow just blew out the back of his head. He's dead on the ground. So well done. And you guys hear in a far off distance as you guys have cleared the room of all the bugbears. Bugbears now you see in this room, each of them being dispatched in different manners. Dormorlum having been laid upon by the corpse of the bugbear. Make me a strength saving throw and see if you can get out. Or if you require assistance. Normally I don't make people roll these, but you just volunteer it, so I'll go for it. Strength save was 24, so you see the bugbear just like on him, and inside you kind of see Aurora in the background. Yes. And Dormorlum shoves the body off. It hits the ground. And quiet begins to creep into the room.
Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta get these kids to bed.
Okay, no worries.
I'm gonna call into the room. Are we good? Everything okay?
Yeah, where you been hiding this whole time?
Did you not
Thanks
make
for all your help, Roland.
I almost had another turn. I only got one turn in that whole thing.
Well, maybe
I'm
if you hadn't killed them all too quickly.
There's
I
some
know you guys are
rounds,
too
guys.
fast.
Well done.
There was 5 of them.
Mm-hmm. One of them had already lost his toes. Granted, he was already at half health, so
He was off balance.
he was off. He was actually prone, but yes.
So what next? I know that my magic, my blessed magic from Gond is running low. I can feel weaker every time I use one of his spells. And I think we could all use a rest. And I kind of look over at the bugbear beds and kind of
These
scrunch up my
beds are
nose.
looking pretty.
Oh, yikes. Well, then Fina exits the room.
So speaking of which, you see in this room the old stone bunks. They line the walls of this barracks. It is lit by a heated, glowing brazier in the middle of the room. And as you guys know, the one door over here still remains barricaded, and the door over here is still intact and open, aside from the frame being kind of beat up by that other.
Is it barricaded from the other side or this side?
It's barricaded from this side. It is very obviously barricaded. Whatever they were
Okay.
trying to keep out on the other side, yeah, that barricade still stands.
Roger that.
All right, I'm gonna wrap a cloth around my mouth, over
Okay.
my nose, and I'm gonna start hauling the bugbear bodies over into the corner.
Okay. So you're able to do so. Go ahead and make me a strength check real quick, and we'll see how quickly or expeditiously you're able to do so on your own. Unless others are physically do it. It's more that it just smells so bad that you've scarce had the smell of such just rotting meat, old, nasty, unwashed bodies, and so you're
Usually
able to
when you haven't had a lot to eat, you get distended. Like first, you get a little bloated, and then emaciated. I think
They
is
are
what
at
it
the
is.
emaciation point.
Wow.
So you're able to drag these the bears, and you're putting them in which corner? We'll just move them all. They're just up here in the.
Yeah, that's where I
House?
was planning on moving them.
The one bed I will say right here is quite stoked. So you know,
Okay.
if you sleep there, you might get herpes.
Well, if we're sleeping in shifts, it won't be a problem.
All right. So the bugbears having been moved out of the room in some semblance of order. What is everyone doing? I see Vinfina and Videx are in the hallway. You're standing guard.
No, I'm actually going to go down to the river, or not river, the lake.
Okay. Lake where you found stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
The place where I felt peaceful.
Okay. And so entering this place again, it definitely this place is. It lacks that sense. It still has that sense of power and of magic, but it does not have the sense of desecration that you felt in other areas of this cave. So
I want to try something. Being
Okay.
an experimenter,
go for
I'm
it.
going to walk over to the brazier, and I'm going to take my green torch,
Okay.
and I'm going to move it into the brazier to see if it affects the other fire at all.
Okay. So as you kind of take your torch and you're dipping it into the yellow flames licking within this bowl, you start to notice as the green fire from your torch and your weapon that is pulsing with power, the brazier itself, the fire seems to move around the green fire, almost not like it's trying to escape the fire, but almost as if it would be too irreverent for them to mingle. Does that make sense?
Okay.
There's this sort of homage that the crackling lies a little bit lower, but as you pull the torch away, it kind of gets back up to its roaring, kind of like the flame licking normally, and the crackle of the logs inside.
Not what I was hoping for, but it'll be all right.
Everyone else doing?
I just want to sleep.
Sleep. We will rest when we are dead. Garvin the Fourth.
I'm just gonna, put my back against the wall here and sit down.
Okay. Go ahead and Clandon, you can start doing your thing. Everyone else, for whatever you'd like to do, for the next, what are you guys doing? Are you guys taking a short rest, a long rest? What is the?
I'd like to take a short rest, and I'm actually going to turn to Aurora, and I'm going to say, Aurora, do you mind if I examine that hammer that you got a few rooms back?
What hammer?
Roland's eye starts twitching a little bit.
Zaron perks up. Hammer.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. I'm going to just shake my head, and I'm going to walk out of the room as well. I'm going to go on patrol. I'll be back.
You're just kidding. Come back. You're just kidding.
I will
Okay, so
hopefully
I pull it
turn
out and
around.
hand it to him.
Okay.
I pull it out and I'm like, this thing?
Yes, that's the one. I knew you had that. Knew it all along. No doubts in my mind.
Not a klepto.
Do we recover our spells with the short rest?
No, not unless you're a druid.
Or a wizard. So, question about the hammer then as I pick it up, and I'm going to kind of go into one of the corners and just kind of sit and examine it.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have
get
to
that
know...
back, right?
We'll see. Do I know... If I attune to this hammer, will I know what it does, or do I still have to identify it in order to know its individual abilities?
That's a good question. I would say that earlier you guys were able to read the name of it on it, did you not?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I would say normally, like if you didn't have some kind of identification, like a power word or some way to kind of link yourself to it from an understanding standpoint, I'd probably say you probably couldn't just attune to it willy-nilly, but because you guys do know that it is like the name of it that was inscribed on it, you could attempt to, and I would say you probably do like a religion check, and if it's anything above a 10, then I would say it would succeed. Otherwise, you might have to fully identify to try to understand what it works.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll spend my hour instead of taking a short rest. I'll spend my hour and just kind of turn the hammer over my hands and kind of contemplate on the name and say a few prayers to Gond for understanding.
Okay.
Say a little prayer for you.
Okay.
Forever and ever.
Okay, so while you're doing that, make me a roll real quick. Just a d20 and
A religion?
a religion roll. Yep. Religion. Yes, you are able to you in the presence of it and thinking about it and contemplating hard, you start to feel a pull, like that of a magnet between you and its kind of its sentience, its essence. In other words, it kind of calls to you. And after a while of concentrating and holding it, you are able to understand that this particular you get the feeling is that you get when you are in communion of some way with Gond, but this one is a different this is a different deity that you're feeling the homage to. And with your role of religion, you know that this is Lathander, the god of the dawn, which was crafted for.
Okay.
As a cleric, for a cleric of him. And you see that the head of the mace is shaped like a sunburst. It's made of solid brass. Its name is Lightbringer. And you see, and you get the feeling as you're holding it, that calling out to you. You get the sense that it yearns for you to activate, or for it to no longer be held in darkness. In other words, what do you do with that?
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grip it in my hand, and I'm going to set the torch kind of to the side, and I'm going to answer the call.
All right. So as you kind of allow yourself to make this connection with it, you feel the mace itself begins to glow. The room itself had that the firelight kind of dancing about and the shadows moving around, and you feel at first it's slow, and then you see this glow emanating from the weapon itself, and it is bright as a torch, and you get the sense that it is something that when you want this to happen, you're able to activate this particular weapon to work in this way.
That's
and then
perfect for me.
and then somehow you hear in like the back of your mind the guy who made the weapon say, "By the way, it's an extra 1d6 radiant damage to undead creatures." Whatever that means.
Whatever that is.
So go ahead and add Lightbringer to your if you want to do it in Roll20 or in D&D Beyond, it'll give you the full stat sheet.
Adding.
And so Aurora, you see him kind of communing with this object, and you see this light and activation. What do you do?
Hold up. I thought I was getting that back.
So I'll stand
that doesn't
up.
look like I'm getting it back.
I'll stand up, and I've got it in my hand, and I'll look over at her, and I'm like, this is a cleric's weapon.
So trade me something for it. Give me something of equal value.
Like
Bravo.
At that
equal
point,
value
you
to a
s-
priceless cleric's weapon.
Bravo. Don't tell her that. That's how you
Give me something
negotiate.
that's
Oh, this
not
thing's a
running.
piece of
Give
crap.
me something that's priceless then.
Give her your soul.
Oh, I'll take your soul. Yes.
I'm
Ooh,
sorry.
eternal servant. I'm kind of liking the sound of that.
I am already bound to you guys. I'm already honor bound to all of you because you brought me
That's
back.
a little different than eternal servant.
I will say if you wish the hammer back, you can have it back. I unfortunately have nothing that could match such a priceless weapon, but it will be very helpful in keeping our group safe compared to me carrying a torch instead of my shield.
Roll me a persuasion check. And Aurora, as a contest to see as a contest roll a what that would be, like charisma? Intimidation. Roll me an intimidation. And between the two you can kind of come to terms with one another. You are not a very intimidating person. He is pretty persuasive. He's not the most persuasive ever, but you're just kind of like, okay.
You feel sorry for him since he can't see in the dark in this.
There you go.
The only person who can't see in the dark.
Which you don't understand. You've never had that kind of problem before. You're like, what is your problem?
So does it not glow all the time?
No, it's on a command.
Oh, no, it wasn't glowing for me.
So how do you make it glow? Is it like a switch?
Yeah, it's sort of like I can command it to glow when
Okay.
I'm connected with it.
Cool, I like it.
And I'll allow you to decide if it glows like a lightsaber or if it glows like fire.
It just emanates like a bright golden
Like a
glow.
glow stick.
It's like one
Yeah,
of
like a
those
Like a
cave
glow
diving
stick.
ones, and you have to pick up the stick and you shake it.
I
and then
do
it
not
goes-
do that with the hammer. No.
That's canon. No. Oh yeah, that's fine. All right.
I'll be right back.
So what do you think, Aurora? You do feel the tugging of in the pit of your stomach.
What else do you have in your bag?
I have very little. Honestly, all of my efforts have been going into making sure the party is alive and repaying my debt that I already owe you.
All right. You owe me. You owe me.
I promise I will give you consideration in the future.
Right.
Oh.
Blood rights. All right. So the hour time lapse concludes. Everyone who, other than Roland, has been able to complete their short rest. Go ahead. You bet. So go ahead and regain if you want to roll
How
any
do I
hit dice.
heal in the short rest again? How
You
do I do that?
hit dice. You have a finite amount of hit dice that should be on your character sheet.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then when you click it, it should give you a number, and then just add that to your health. And you can use up to however many hit dice you have available to you, which I think you're a level. So if you're level 5, I believe you have 5 hit dice.
0?
Mm.
Really?
Minus your constitution, I'm going to flip that to a 1. At the very least.
I think it's supposed to be minimum 1.
Yeah, I think your base has got to be 1. So that's a hit dice of 1. You healed for 1. I think we found out why your health's so low.
Yeah, we should fix that.
So that's 4. When every 4 levels, you'll
Yeah.
get a attribute increase. If you wanted to, you can dump them into your constitution.
Hey, I can't click on myself.
Try,
Or Tiger Lily.
try refreshing. It might be just out of sync. I've had that happen before on my end. I think it's kind of funky. Yep. It should say on the actual link. It's either a long rest or a short rest. I'm not sure. Yours is on a short rest. Support. Dog make 1 bite attack. It should have a recharge 4 to 6. Yeah, I would say short rest would be fine. Just treat it the same as your face step. But in a fight, you're gonna have to roll to recharge it. All right, so Zaron kind of sits complacently, kind of looking at out the door and just making sure that whatever is fine. Looking in the room itself, don't believe. As far as what's in there, you see kind of Zaron going through some of the pockets of the dead bugbears. And he pulls out a pouch. Potion. Clandon's away from the desk. Aurora, are you sleeping?
He is.
Aurora,
What's up?
whoever's awake, I was just saying that Zaron is picking the bodies, and he's found himself a potion and a pouch.
I am too ingrained with Lightbringer.
Okay.
Are we actually taking a long rest? Is that what we all decided?
Short rest, unless someone said otherwise.
I know we took a
think
short rest.
We've had a lot of battles. I think a long rest might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Because we've done like 3 or 4 battles now.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, we've done a lot.
before the before I actually go to sleep, I'm gonna, because I'm not even like paying attention to anything else that's going on with the bodies. So I'm gonna actually head out and I'm going to find Vimfina just to make sure she's okay.
Okay. You're kind of stepping out there.
Wherever that leads me.
It's much
Yeah.
darker out here. Do you have Lightbringer on?
I have Lightbringer on.
Okay.
Because
It
why
will
not?
always be on.
Uh-huh.
So as you're kind of walking down there, you hear in the distance some the fluttering, but you do hear the sounds, or you do see kind of Vidax kind of coiled up, sitting kind of proudly looking around near Vimfina, who is also.
So when I reach
pool of water.
the bottom of the stairs, I'll look over and I'll say, we've got everything set up in there if you are wanting to join us.
I am having a hard time being in there with all that death. So I think I'd rather stay out here for the night. It's much more peaceful out here.
I would prefer if you were a bit closer, just so that we could keep an eye on you. I don't want you to get ambushed alone out here.
Well, I do have Vidax as well, and I don't have to rest as long as you guys, so I'll be okay.
As you guys are talking kind of candidly in this part of the corridor, here to the south, the more fluttering of it sounds like bat wings as they kind of going up to roost. You get the sense that in the eaves of this cave that there's probably denizens living here. The occasional dripping of water.
All right. Well, if that is what you wish, let me just let's see here. What can I do?
I pull out my
I'm just trying to see
dulcimer
if
and
there's
start
any
plucking
sort
away
of
at it.
long-lasting blessing I might be able to apply to you.
So just making sure that I understand clearly. You just completed a short rest. Are you guys intending on a long rest as well?
Yeah, I think that's a good
Okay.
idea.
What I'll do is I'll just lump that hour into so you got 7 hours left.
I'll just kind of nod to Vamfina and I'll say, well, if you decide you want to join us, please feel free, and otherwise don't hesitate to scream if something happens.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll check in on you guys in a couple hours, and so we'll be all right.
All right. I'll kind of nod to her, and then I'll head back up, and I'm gonna keep the door open, but
Okay.
I'm going to stand at the door, and I'm gonna take first watch.
Okay. Did you take first
I'll
watch?
take second.
Yeah, second. Okay. And then Venfina, you're chilling. Blink, dog, or you've got Vidax that's kind of in the guard, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have myself against the
And are you
Oh.
switching watches with him,
with Vidax.
or are you gonna have him watch the whole time?
Well, I only need to rest for 4 hours, so
You
we'll
go
put
ahead,
on my
you
switch.
rest. So going through it, Aurora, after a span of 3 hours or so, you feel kind of the soft padding as you're in your trance. Actually, it'd be 3 hours because you got the first hour already. Feel someone tapping your shoulder, trance.
What's that?
And that would be
It is your turn for watch. So once I've told
Sorry,
her that
did you say something? Steve started playing music really loud.
Play my dulcimer.
yeah, that's what's keeping everybody up.
That sounded much better than that.
Aurora, it's your turn for watch,
Oh, okay.
and then I'm gonna head over to one of the beds, and I'm gonna turn off Lightbringer
Yeah, I'm asleep now.
and just kind of slump against it. Click, click. Just
Hey, since I
slightly
did
unscrew the
my
bottom.
did my rest and I only had to sleep for like 4 hours, I think it is. Did
Uh-huh.
I get full health back?
Yes, you get full. It's just you have a long rest at this point. Yes. Both you and Venfina only take 4 hours. Venfina, roll me a perception check, please. Have Vidax roll me a Constitution. Yep. Okay. And then Vidax, Constitution of 21. So he stands vigilant. There's a few times that you get disturbed a little bit as you hear the and you hear kind of Vidax bound off into the but he seems to have pretty much chased off anything. Everyone sometimes. So Aurora goes by, and as far as you can tell, again, time in this area is really hard to tell because you're in the middle, under underground. You're really not sure what time of day it is. It's kind of a crapshoot. But you start to hear the others beginning to stir, and kind of wake up. The last bits of the fire are beginning to die out. Kind of the warm embers still, and the trailing smoke going up the flume. Everybody doing?
Since I have a little time that I'm not resting, technically, I'd like to do some more investigations at this pond.
Okay. So while you're investigating in the pond, go ahead and roll me a perception check. Or investigation, actually. Okay, looking in there, you see kind of similar to what you saw before. You see the water-sodden armor, leather armor, other pieces of garment or other things that are just kind of floating, very similar to that of seaweed. Little cave. Notice that most of it's just, you know, the people. You see a few clerics garbs there. You see a few other things, but as far as most of the mementos, they either been long since scavenged or been still.
And I guess she's just looking for understanding as to
Okay.
why this area is so.
Roll me a
Calm.
religion check. So you get the sense after, you know, very quiet contemplation, and kind of just communing with the area, spirits that long since passed on here, and just feeling kind of things. You get the sense that this particular area, it's kind of the nature, water in and of itself, a lot of times is represented in medicine and other things for healing properties, for calmness, for what have you, and that you get the sense that the people who died here died having completed their purpose. They did not die holding on to any grudges or things that might bind them to this plane, and no one since has come and desecrated their corpses or used their corpses for various purposes, necromancy, that kind of. So you get the sense that it could just be overlooked, but the people who died are all at peace. And that's why, you know, other areas you found, contemplating, thinking about the shade that you guys had encountered and how such a violent or such a passion for preserving the magics and the hard work that someone did in this life had bound his soul to that place, creating such a strong lingering effect on the soul, and how it twisted him over time, and not being able to move on and having that just kind of constantly fester, and what it turned him into. These souls have thankfully have not had that same experience.
Sounds good.
Curious to know why your little thing has a pink icon on it, or Morlem. Like a little pink padding icon.
I don't know. It just showed up there and
Weird.
that little speech bubble there.
Yeah, I
and-
saw that too.
and
Very
I
weird.
have no idea.
Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of the place to get. You don't see anything pretty very descriptive about the area. It's just that's what you, with your communion, are able to
Do I
discern.
sense like a deity that is present there?
Not one specific
Since
deity.
You said there were several clerics.
There are some
I don't know.
clerics, yes. Some of these clerics you see different sigils or the people that more pious garb that they are wearing is similar to ones that you've seen. You know, being a paladin, having been in different areas with different clergy, you imagine that the area that you're in is probably Timora. There was probably you know, other gods that have long kind of been watching over or have been popular in this area, but not one specific.
Okay, I want to collect some of their sigils to just keep with me to like remember this place.
Okay, go ahead and mark down that you found 3 different sigils.
Hey guys, should we open this door?
Open.
It's
Do
an
you hear
underground lake,
anything over there?
but more of
They
a
were
pond, I guess.
resting.
Oh, we're still resting.
Underground pond, as far as you can tell.
I think Clandon drank some coffee this morning.
Dun 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 dun. So go ahead and mark down that you've got 3 distinct sigils from the garb of these undead. Everyone else in the room, you're again all fully. Your faculties are awake. Landon's got some Java in him. What are you doing?
I'm gonna eat a ration. I was hungry.
Okay. Go ahead and everybody mark off, unless you want to try and scavenge in a stone cave with poisonous mushrooms. Go and mark off the used ration. S-I-G-I-L. Like sigil. Sigil.
Sigil.
I-L. I think.
Sigile.
S-I-G-I-L. Pretty sure.
Do one of you guys want to sense any evil on the other side of this door?
I'm in my happy place.
Oh. Oh.
I will come upstairs though, since I hear you guys wrestling and want to investigate that it's you
It
guys.
smells more like us now.
Clandon, help me open up this door.
It smells more rape. Ugh.
I
And-
really need some help this morning.
Hold on. I think I might have something. I've got a crowbar. I pulled out of my dungeoner's pack.
Okay,
Oh,
that will give
perfect.
you
Here, I'll step
advantage
aside and let
on
you-
strength checks. Go ahead and make your strength check with advantage.
I did not do advantage.
All right. And
I'm just gonna roll a second time.
by the way, one of
Yes.
those, excuse me, Benfina, one of those sigils is Dumathon. Dumathoin. You recognize Temora Dumathoin and another that you're not. Dumathon. Dumathoin. Or Dumathoin. I don't know. Something like
You would think having a 17 strength would be a little bit
yeah,
more
you think.
productive.
Let me check really
That's
quick.
sad.
I gotta check what the DC's on it. Work.
20.
Right, 11. Successful DC 26 strength check to force open. No, you didn't do it.
Hey, here, door. Why don't you try with the crowbar?
All right.
All right, make it with
All right,
advantage,
okay.
and then Clandon, you can help, and I'm gonna take the average. of
As you hand me the crowbar, I spit in both hands. Take the
I didn't know
crowbar.
it. Clandon's pulling really hard. Come on, heavens to Betsy. I would say cumulatively. I'm sorry. When I misspoke when I said average. I'm gonna take the two put together. Between the two of you alone, you're not able to do it. It starts to creak. Landon, you feel it start to give way a little bit, and you kind of adjust your grip closer to where his kind of pinch point is and where he's pulling. And between the two of you, you're able to pry this loose, and as the boards and barricaded doors and things like that. You're able to get these things off. And you see before you just another large banded door.
I recognize this place.
Ah,
I feel like Gandalf when he comes to the Mines of Moria.
You guys
Recognize
opening up that door. I want you both to make me a perception check, please.
all right.
I'm back, by the way.
Fuck. Oh, dang it.
Clandon, you don't really notice much. Dormorlum, you're noticing a faint glow in the distance that, I think, were you here when they were fighting?
I was here when he disappeared.
Okay.
The teleport stone.
You see in that distance a familiar, kind of similar to that of a torch glow, but the way that it's moving.
Hey, you're breaking up there, Dan.
Hold on.
It's everybody's having this.
All right. Yeah, it looks like it was Discord that was being dumb. I disconnected and reconnected, but it, I was hearing it on Becca's too. Okay, so you see in the distance what looks to be similar to torchlight, but it's moving wrong for torchlight. It seems to be going up in the air, down in the air, up in the air.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna turn
in
and
there.
whisper to Clandon and kind of tap him and point in the general direction of it, and be like, "You see that? You see that glow bobbing up and down over there?
Yeah, that's not natural.
It's flickering between like a red
Should
and
I
a
shoot it?
green kind of glow.
I don't know. 1 gold piece says you miss.
All right, you're on.
Okay, so as you guys are seeing that, coming from around the bellows, you see flying a little bit higher and over that flame skull that you guys had killed earlier has regenerated.
Did
Hey,
Did I
there's a
hit?
gold. There's a gold.
There's a gold piece on the line here.
There's a gold piece on the line. Hold on. Yes, it does hit. It has not. It has not noticed you yet, but I'm telling you right now, this is your only round of surprise. So, yes. All right, so go ahead and roll for damage for me, please.
All right, that put me at 390 gold pieces.
So you give him a gold piece. Roll your damage on it, and then roll your second attack, please.
Nice.
Eesh, doesn't hit, does it?
All right, so 9 piercing damage. Put that in there first. Going slow today. No, it does not hit. So as you kind of shoot, as it's bobbing up and down, you don't kind of account. You accounted for the speed. There's not wind, the arc of the arrow, but you weren't accounting for his kind of up and down. And it flies off, and you see the skull look over in the distance and stop. And then
I just freeze.
so for the first attack, and then the first attack hits. The second attack doesn't. And it flies off in the distance, and at this point, it looks towards you. And right now,
head turn.
Kind of a no. This one's more like a breakneck, like I found you. I see you.
Does it have dark vision?
Yeah. It's a flying torch. What do you think? Yes, it has dark vision up to 60 feet.
Oh,
So,
It does see us.
9. Yep, he sees you. So, Dormorlum, Clandon, and Flameskull. Roll me initiative, please. Everyone else roll initiative as well, but these are the 3 that are engaged at the moment.
yes.
Wow, Clannon got above me. What?
Initiative order.
Yes.
All right, is everybody in there?
Wow.
Did
Ooh,
actually?
Wow.
Benzina.
She is in her zone.
At least the blink
Right.
dog is.
Very nice blink dog. All right. Roland's in there. Everything's good. And you guys start to hear this, but right now, obviously, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and roll perception checks, unless one of you guys are calling out on your turn to see if you notice what's going on with these two hoodlums that is running off by themselves. Okay, so Blink Dog, roll me a perception check for the Blink Dog, please. And then Clandon, go ahead and
Blink Dog's way
go ahead
far
and
away.
get your next shot. He has no, that Blink Dog is not aware of the situation. He has no danger sense.
Do I remember how tough this guy
He
is?
would have advantage on those, but I'm calling it disadvantage because of how far away he is from it. So it's just going to null out and you're just do a single roll. Correct. But this is just going to be a single roll because he would have disadvantage. Oh, you rolled the Constitution. Let me look at the modifier. Give me the modifier for Wisdom. It's a +1. It's the same. It's a 9. No, he doesn't see it. And Clandon, what did you do? I'm sorry.
Do I recall how tough this guy is?
You remember he nearly killed 3 of you
Dang.
with a single spell?
Ah! Okay.
All right. So, yeah, Clandon, what are you doing? He's looking at you, and it's that your typical yakety yak. He's got an arrow sticking through his head this way.
Hey Dora, you want to take this one?
At that mention, I go ahead and I'm just gonna use my bonus action real quick if I can, and both my warhammer and my battle axe both appear in my hands in a blink of an eye.
Yes, I'll allow it, and then on your turn, just make sure, just won't have a bonus
Yeah,
action.
no bonus,
I'll allow it for
yeah.
flavor.
All right. Then I'm gonna cast my ensnaring strike.
Okay.
Or conjure it.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't expect that.
So DC 12. He needs to make a strength saving throw, and if it fails, then it takes damage. Or
It's
does it
the
take
next
half
time
damage?
the next time I hit. I thought it was gonna put the text up.
Okay.
Here,
Well,
I'll
go
take
ahead and
that.
roll and see if you hit. I've already rolled for him. He rolled a 14.
Dang.
Go ahead and roll your attack.
Oh, come on.
9 does not hit.
Didn't hit anyway.
So as you kind of shoot, he's looking at you, and you shoot, and he kind of, and as it goes past, it hits the broadhead off the one side of his head, just knocks it off, and he looks at you and, yes, that one hits. 0 hits him. So he rolled, what was the DC? He rolled a 14, so that's a DC of 12. He does make his strength save. What is the effect? Let's see,
Okay,
restrained.
next time you hit a creature with a weapon attack before the spell ends, or rather,
The vines shrivel away. So you hit it. I believe it takes the extra. It's not restrained, so it doesn't do the damage. Does it do initial damage?
No.
I don't think it
It
does.
said piercing 6 when I clicked it, but
That's
I don't
if,
see it in the
if they're
text.
restrained. They take
Gotcha,
6
gotcha,
piercing.
gotcha.
They take 1d6 piercing.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Okay, yeah. So you hit, and this vine kind of reaches out to grasp for something, but it isn't able to find purchase on anything. It's too high in the air, so you just see it kind of come out and then
Bummer.
just kind of shrivel, and you see this just kind of like vine hanging out of his jaw. Now he's got a goatee. All right, Vinfina, it's your turn. Roll me a perception check. You're over there chitty-chatting. Vinfina and Aurora are both over there. Yeah, so you're rolling a perception check to see if you recognize.
Oh wait, my bow's still enchanted. Dang it!
Enchantment. You see everything. Your head blows back, and you're like the cat that smelled catnip. Your eyes are open. You see over Aurora's shoulder. You do see
She
that.
just sniffs spice. Her eyes
You
turn blue.
you see as the doors kind of open. You're like, oh, what's Dora Morland doing? And you see this as his weapons appear in his hands. What do you do? You don't see what they're attacking. You do see that he is in a battle ready stance.
Well, let me check one thing.
Get up off of that. Dancing, feel better. Intermission.
Let's all go to the
shark,
lobby.
do.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Were you just doing Baby Shark?
Yes, I was.
Baby Shark.
Do, 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 do. Baby shark. It's the one with the circle and a ruler on it. Change the just a pathy.
All right. Well, I'm going to mount my Vidax.
Side note, I don't mean to, but is it true that there's daddy shark, mommy shark, baby shark, and brother shark? There's no talk about Jerry.
There's no brother shark.
There's daddy shark, mommy shark, dude, grandma shark,
There's
grandpa shark,
mommy, daddy, grandma, and grandpa.
and then baby shark.
Yeah.
There's not even brother shark.
There's no siblings.
Gender equality, y'all. He's gender neutral. He doesn't identify with either. Right. Non-binary shark.
All right. I'm going to mount my steed.
Whoa.
Your blinking steed.
Yeah.
He blinks. You don't go with him. You know that, right? I'm just making sure that's clear up front. That's not a free teleport.
Teleport him, but yeah, I'm aware of that.
Okay. Just making sure that that's clear from the get-go. You can't, because it'll be like, poof, he's gone, and then just poof, on the ground.
Or she could land right above the dude.
Hey, Medical Mischief, thank you for the subscription.
Okay. Anyhow, and we are going
Bad luck,
to
friend.
go his 40 across the room real quick.
Perfect. All right. As a reward for your subscription, Medical Mischief, I will name the next NPC after you. He'll be a doctor.
So is mounting in action, and then we used our.
Yes, you're able to mount, and you use his move speed as your move speed, and your actions. He doesn't necessarily take. He'll take movement actions, but I don't think he'll take an attack.
So is
action.
mounting is part of my movement, correct?
I think. Let me check.
It's not my
I
action.
want to say it
It's
was
part of my
part of your
movement.
movement. I want to say it took half your movement, but let me check. Beyond.
I'll look it up right here in my thing.
Consult the Book of Armaments.
Once during my move, I can mount a creature that is within 5 feet. Doing so costs you the amount of movement equal to half your speed.
Yep, half movement. You are on him, but you do not. You have half of your movement reduced. And is it his movement or yours?
Well, I have to use my movement to mount. And then can I use his movement to go?
I'm gonna say it would probably be
And just
half
take
of your
him out of
movement
the
this
turn.
turn, regardless if it's his or yours. So you will have half of his movement. So that makes sense. Because it's a time constraint thing. Is the movement how much time you have, and you're spending. Both of you are spending the equal amount of time to mount.
Okay, so I can go 20 more.
Yes. Wait, he's got 50, so you could go 25.
He only has 40.
Oh, you're right. I was thinking of Tiger Lily. Tiger Lily has 50.
Okay, we are jaunting 28.
So the requested name for the next NPC has been Botched Circumcision. He'll be a doctor of the highest order. And I bet you can't guess why he became a doctor, because he didn't want it to happen to anybody else.
I can dig
You know,
it.
I saw somewhere that a necromancer is just a very late doctor.
It's true. And And in some ways, he's better than the regular doctor because he brings it back.
Doc, can you fix my wound? No, but I can do you one better.
Come back as my enemy. All right, so you're using your movement. Where are you going?
20 feet apparently.
20 feet. Okay. So you go there, and what do you want to use your dash action? Creatures of your choice.
All right, my phase step that I am currently in allows me to move us both.
Okay. Able to grab on him and bamf with him.
Up to 2 creatures of your choice that you can see.
And that's your bonus action, correct?
Yeah, phase step is a bonus.
You are in range of Tiger Lily, so if you'd like to reach out and grab her tail,
Do it.
it does say 2 creatures of your. Is it 2 creatures including you or in addition to you? Oh, you jumped
Hold on just a second.
Okay, it's just you and the
I
boat.
read it incorrectly. It's after. It's anyway, it's a reaction thing.
Okay, got it. All right. So are you face stepping or no?
Well, if I face step, can I face step with him?
Does it say you can in the spell?
He's a blink dog. Like
He could, if you wanted to synchronize your blinking, sure. But you'd be limited to his distance, which is 30, and I think yours is longer, isn't it? You better go catch them. Weird. Face step.
mine's 30 as well.
All right, then. Well, if you wanted to synchronize the 2 of you bamfing over there, but you would both be expending your blink ability.
Whatever. Whatever. We're done.
All right, go. So blink where you're going, 30 feet.
No, we're not gonna blink. We'll just go. We'll use it later.
Okay, are you running?
I went my 20 feet already.
Well,
I'm
you have an
moving.
action. What are you holding an action or are you using dash? What are you doing?
I'll just hold my action, I suppose. Oh, can I dash? Yeah.
Yes.
If I can use my action to dash, whatever.
Now
Then
you can
do
use
I-
his full
Do I move his 40?
full
Okay,
movement, yes.
cool.
Dash is a full 40 feet. You could get all the way up into the door. You wouldn't be able to necessarily get out yet because you're going
Alright,
to be
I'm in the
all
door.
flustered in
and I
there.
am-
Okay, so now you can kind of see in the distance the faint glow of and the familiar red beady eyes of.
Right. Can
Let me
I? Am I in close enough distance to speak with those 2?
As a free action, yes.
All right, guys. This little skull thing is bad news. Be very careful.
Your Morlem, it's your turn. Roland, you're on deck.
Go.
And you've just seen, for those other people in the room, you just saw Vinfina run across the room. So, now what are you doing? You running?
Yeah, it's
Running
coming up 30
away,
feet,
eh?
and I will cast. I'll cast Chill Touch.
Okay. Go ahead and do it. That's 120 feet. He needs to make a save or no?
Chill Touch. 1 second. Let me look at this real quick.
I can't remember if that one was like a grapple or if it was just a attack spell.
Okay, Chill Touch. I make a ranged spell attack against the creature with the chill, so it's a hit or miss.
Okay, hit or miss. Perfect. All right, so on that one, for 14, it does hit. Roll for damage.
Cool.
Ooh, nice.
And chill touch is necrotic damage, correct?
Necrotic damage.
Okay. So you see on the edges of this bellow, this ghastly hand kind of come up out of the ground and kind of reach out and grab the back of the skull. And where normally you would expect to see a lot more life force pulled out of it or damaged, you see it start to pull and you see it pull back, but then you see it shake most of it off.
Let's see here. It also has disadvantage on attack rolls until the end of my next turn.
Okay. Disadvantage.
Yes.
Okay. Beep. Crackety cracked. Okay.
And it can't regain any hit points.
Okay, so you cast a spell, so you don't have that. Do you have your bonus action for your action surge?
I do have my action surge if I wanted to use it.
If you want to take that, go for it. If not, it's Roland's turn.
Once per short to take additional action, twice per short rest. No, because I wouldn't be allowed to move, would I?
No, you
No,
already
I've
used all
already
your
moved.
movement. Yeah.
I would just have to cast another
Okay.
spell.
Okay. So it'll be.
No. I'm good then. I'm gonna hold.
Okay, it's Roland's turn. Tiger Lily's on deck, followed by Flame.
So I look up as I see Vimfina basically racing by on her mount, and I've been praying and enchanting my armor for the day, and I look down at it and then go, oh crap, and I start putting it on. I'm going to be taking my whole turn putting on my armor because it doesn't.
Perfect. Dang it.
So that's my turn.
All right. Go ahead and Tiger Lily. Tiger Lily, seeing the blink dog and Vimfina come running off that way, what would she do in this situation?
So she looks at the blink dog, she looks back at me, and she's like, what do I do? And she looks at me like,
Then she does the typical cat, don't care, goes back to sleep. So what do you, bonus action on your turn that you have? No. She's independent, so yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah, she's independent.
She's intelligent enough that she could be independent of it.
So
as like a free, as a free action, quote unquote, you'd be able to give her like a signal of some kind. Help influence her action.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give her a nod to go check it out.
Okay. So she looks
She's
to you.
gonna poke her head around and see what's going on.
Creepy.
Okay, so she goes out. She sees down the hallway. Make a. She can see it because it's lit. Otherwise, she doesn't have blind vision. She has advantage on
Smell.
sight, on smell and hearing, right? So she'd be able to see it at least at this point, because it is like a torch in the distance. She wouldn't be able to see exactly what it is, but because of the way that it's moving, she gets the sense that it's not good. It's not She doesn't know what it is, but she gets the sense that it's just her feral instinct is that of danger.
Okay, so she's gonna hold her action then until no, she's not dead.
Okay.
I don't want to say until she can assess to like see what's going on and see what everybody else is doing, but I don't know if that's. Let's just say she's gonna hold her action this turn.
Okay. Holds it. All right. Seeing this, kind of seeing the things start to move forward, you see the flame skull. He kind of sits forward, and you see his jaw moving, and the sounds. Dora Morlum, you hear since you're close to him, the familiar. And you see this rune begin to form on its forehead. At which point you see kind of diorama open up in front of him as he casts.
It's the third eye.
Oh no.
See his visage kind of start to warble, and then suddenly you see him in kind of two different areas. It's hard to put a pinpoint on where he actually is. It's similar to like if you watched The Flash when he's like moving his head around. His
Flame skull,
visage
use
is
double
very much
team.
blurred. Okay, and that basically, if you make attack roll against him, it's going to be a disadvantage.
Okie dokie.
Okay. He is blurred. That, at this point, he is going to kind of move away using his action, and he's going to be kind of putting himself a little bit further down into this kind of crook between the water wheel and the bellows.
So
Aurora.
is that what that is? That's a bellows and
Yeah, it's a bellows, and so the bellows itself is, you know, a good 10 feet something high. You can go under it, but you got to go prone, or you can go over it, but you got to climb up a giant bellows.
Oh.
The giant Ford.
So he's flying up in the air over there then.
Yeah, he flew over the top, and he's gone back down and kind of descended out of view.
Well, being a dwarf, do I still have to go prone under that?
I'd say it'd just be you wouldn't necessarily have to go prone, but you would have
Duck.
half movement when you go through there. Or disadvantage movement.
Crouched. You're crouched.
Unfavorable
Crashing
terrain,
tiger,
really.
hidden dragon.
No, hidden dragon, just crouch.
All right, right, all right, Aurora, it's your turn.
Do I need to roll?
Do you need to roll for perception? No, you see everyone moving in that direction.
Okay.
You can decide whether to investigate yourself or ignore the call. And you hear the clinking and the tink and the frantic as Roland's putting on his armor and kind of buckling things on and tink. The scraping of pauldrons and other things being put on.
Okay. What did those boys get into now?
I don't know.
It had a dual nature. That was in real life and in the game.
Alright, so I'm going to meander on over there
Okay.
reluctantly.
You kind of saunter over. You have your stuff. How far is your movement? Yours is 30 feet, right? You can make it about right there.
Yep.
And seeing out in the door, you don't really see anything. What the big hubbub is about. You see Dormorlem in the distance, but that's about as much as you're kind of gleaning from the situation.
Clandon, what is going on?
Well, you see, Dora just came busting through here and caught the attention of the eye dude. You know, the one that we killed earlier? He's back.
We'll kill him again.
And if he said that there's a bet involved, don't listen to him. He's lying.
Zaron, at this point, if you don't want to take any actions,
Sure, Clandon. Don't take any responsibility for
are
yourself.
you holding your actions or?
Yeah, I'm good.
It was a dwarf.
So Zaron,
Don't
he
tell
says,
the elf.
"Flame skull, very interesting." And so he
Other
kind of
elf.
The other elf.
he slinks his way down here, across on near the beds, and kind of lies in wait. And he's going to also. He is going to. He's gonna dash. He's gonna use his full action, and he's gonna try and press his way through past to right here. He's gonna be like up against the wall so that you can still kind of get out of there, Benfina. But he's gonna come out here just to kind of see, and he's looking down, trying to ascertain what's going on in the. Landon, it's your turn. Benfina.
All right. Can I pull off a trick shot?
Right now he has full cover.
I was thinking of
You
shooting
cannot
it
see
up,
him from this
and then using my
area.
second shot to reorient it down.
Yeah.
I would
Because we might as well just go with more Robin Hood moves tonight.
You know, somebody brought it up, so.
I would say
We'll have to roll
if
it.
you wanted to attempt that, you'd have to roll both of them, both attacks. They would have to be high enough to hit his AC, and then a dexterity saving throw above 15. Or not saving throw, just a dexterity check of 15 in order to make that work. Do you want to chance it?
Let's see. I can do it.
He's going to go for it. He's going all the way. Not technically something that would be feasible, but you did see the direction he was going. So if you want to attempt it, this is like a very, very small chance that you're going to hit him.
Which, of course, means that it's going to work.
I know, right?
I already missed.
So you have this grandiose idea in your head, and instead of loading the one area, you load the two. And as you fire them, they kind of get twined together, the goose feathers in some way. And as they kind of clatter off into the distance, you don't really know which direction they went, but they definitely didn't go the right way. So go ahead and mark down that 2 arrows are consumed. And that'll just be, yeah.
I'm just
That's the
gonna
end of that skill
hang
check.
my head and kind of turn around and put my head in the corner there.
And Zaron is like, interesting. I'm really sure what you're trying to do there, but to each his own. Then Fina, it's your turn. You and Dog. Vidax. What are you gonna do?
Sorry. I said, how ironic I have a companion myself now. Penny's asleep on me.
Sleeping.
Aw, I wish my daughter was asleep.
Mhm.
She's in the
Sleeper hold.
background
Put her in the
making
sleeper
noise.
hold.
I know, right?
You could.
Okay, so who's in front of the store? Is that the tiefling guy?
Yes. That is Zaron.
Okay.
Yes.
And all right, I'm gonna step out to this staircase.
I'm gonna change him from red to like pink or like, I don't know, green.
Fuchsia.
Visible. Yes, you would not see the skull guy. He's in the distance. By the time you got there, well, no, you would have seen him kind of descend. You know he's on the other side of that bellows, but you cannot see him. Your current trajectory. Of curiosity, if I click on Clandon, he can. Oh, I guess it's because that isn't set up to obstruct view. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay, so now that I know I can't see the skull guy, I'm gonna move further. The remainder of my 20 feet.
Okay, go ahead and move the remainder. As you enter into the room, you see the familiar area of the bellows and the forge, long since cold. From right there, to give you an idea of what you're looking at, it's one of those giant bellows like the ones you use in a fireplace to stoke the fire, or not to stoke the fire, to blow air at it, bellow the fire, the old-fashioned ones. It's a giant one of those. Underneath it, you have probably 2 feet worth of space underneath it, where there's like a crawl space that normal people go through. And then above that, this bellows occupies, like about 5-6 feet tall worth of bellows that extends and closes, does that kind of thing. So from your angle, he is on the other side of that big bellows. You can see the glow of where he's at in the general vicinity, but you cannot see him specifically. That makes sense?
Alright, well, I'm just gonna hold my action.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna hold my attack.
Your attack, okay. And what is the trigger if he comes into view?
Correct.
And that's with your crossbow or glaive?
Well, I have my crossbow ready.
Okay. Or spell. You can cast a spell too if you want to.
Practical.
All right. So that's Vinfina's turn. Dora Morlem, it is your turn. So you see this skull running away, eh?
Yeah. Get back here.
All right.
I go.
And these 2
5,
spaces, those 2 count as
10.
double if you go underneath.
15. Climb over that.
Okay.
That count as
It'd be disadvantage moves. So basically, so if it was 15, you were
25.
25. Yep. And you can
30.
see the flame skull at this point. It's not within melee range, but you can see it. Plain view.
You've been hiding.
He turns and looks at you and
You can't hide from me.
you see his new goatee dangling his chin.
Don't forget the arrow.
Chill
in his
touch.
head.
21 does hit. Roll for damage.
Aw.
4 necrotic
So I
damage.
go from 2 8s to 2
Yeah.
2s.
So you see another one of these necrotic arms come out of the bellows from the side, and you see it press against its face, but it resists and shakes off the majority of the blow.
So again, he has disadvantage of attacks and cannot regain hit points until the start of my next turn.
Disadvantage on attack rolls, correct?
Against me.
Against you. Okay.
Yes.
And I'll put that on you specifically, just so I don't forget.
Yeah.
He's scared. I like the way you do that thing right there. Roland.
Running away, eh?
Running away.
So knowing what we're facing, I'm going to stop putting on my armor because it takes 10 minutes for me to put on my armor.
Okay, so you're gonna go out there with, what is it, 10 AC? 10 AC?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab my shield and light
12
bringer.
AC.
And as I'm heading out, I'm activating Lightbringer just as kind of a minor. Yep. I just kind of I kind of do that like spin in the hand, and as it spins, it just kind of like that idle twirl that some people do with their weapons, and it just starts glowing.
Okay.
The whole lightsaber effect. Then again, just swinging his lightsaber, charging after Count Dooku.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move to right there, and I'm gonna come out the door, and I'm wearing just like my undershirt for the chainmail.
You see a man come out in a tunic and what do they call that?
Just like breeches.
Breeches and like that quilted under armor.
Uh-huh.
I don't even turn around and notice. My head's still in the corner.
That's a padded armor, I think is what it is.
Yeah, padding.
Yeah. And I look between the two people on the other side, and I just kind of, all right, I guess we're doing this way.
And you see a
Next
faint
time,
glow in
can
the
you guys give me
distance.
time to, actually get ready before you run off and attract the attention of something this dangerous.
Hey, we're over here.
Alrighty, and that's my turn.
Laron says it. Definitely. Tiger Lily. She is now her turn. Your action that she's holding is no longer held. What is she doing?
I think she's just gonna move.
Okay. Where do you want her to move? She can see a lot better now out in that hallway. Now that Roland has his torch. Torch light is 20 feet, right? 15.
Torchlight is 60 or 30.
It's
60 or
his-
30, one of the two.
Okay, so it's his light bringers essentially. So it's the same. So she can see clearly that distance, and then she can see vaguely in the distance, rim lit, the face of Dormorlum, light coming from a source unknown.
So she bows her head like this and just
Sees the
20-foot bright light, 20-foot dim light beyond that. So
She
40 feet.
stretches and she yawns. Gets her claws out, kind of getting settled in for watching the show. Is that what I'm hearing?
yep, and that's her turn.
Okay. Is she holding her action or is she?
No.
Okay. All right, Flame Skull. So he kind of seeing your advances on him, he's going to fly up again on top of the bellows. So you can all see him in plain sight. Dormorlum, you can see him kind of floating, hovering above the bellows. And at this point, you see again this his visage is still this blurred instance, but you still hear the. And
Come here, you coward.
you see a different, very similar to like Doctor Strange, the kind of all that.
Yeah,
And-
basically, I know.
You know what I'm talking about.
Runic symbols.
Yeah, the runic
or something.
symbols start to appear in like the alchemy circle type thing in the air. And then you see in front of you,
It's an alchemist.
this is going to be a fireball at level 3.
And don't forget, hey, then Fina, that activates your action, your held action.
Correct. You can see him, so go ahead and roll your attack if you'd like. That did
By the
not
way,
roll.
just so everybody knows, my AC is 11, not 12, because it's 10 plus your dexterity modifier, and my dex is minus.
Yes, I am not the lowest anymore.
For this one comment where I'm not wearing armor, yes, you are not the
That's
lowest.
perfect. Okay, so what's basically going to happen here is
We'll die together.
roll your
I prefer
roll your
to live
attack. Or
Not like live together.
oh, I'm sorry, I
But
clicked the wrong thing.
live.
I'm like, wait, I'm dead. All of a sudden, I had an X on me.
Is your held action, which I'm just gonna take away because you're using it. Go ahead and roll your attack first. I'll let that resolve, and then you're gonna see the attack take place.
The fireball. That's gonna hurt. Fireball is a fun spell to be able to cast against groups.
Okay, I'm going to roll. I can't do it. It's not a melee. I'm gonna just shoot with my crossbow.
Okay.
Where is this fireball spell being aimed?
Ah!
Oh,
Tiger Lily wants to
he's trying to
slink
hit.
back into the
You're
room.
standing next to the man that shot him, and so he's trying to get revenge.
literally come around the corner and get fireballed in the face.
I didn't think of
Without
that.
your armor.
I didn't think of that.
He's building it up. Is that?
It's a heavy crossbow, doesn't hit, so you kind of like you try and get a pot shot off on him.
I get another shot, right?
You did take an attack action. Yes, you get a second shot. So the first action, you see the rune. It hits the runic symbol and kind of splinters in front of him, and continues to grow in power. And it still doesn't hit. So the second one, it hits as it's kind of coming through, but the fireball itself, you see it emerge from the front of the glyph and just flying through. I'm gonna have just before it hits, you see Zaron. He's going to take a reaction. He is casting a counterspell.
Ooh.
And he is going to see if he can thwart
I like this.
the
song.
roll. You see, and he says, "Hold on!" Puts his hands up. You see him do like a Doctor Strange kind of hands moves.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see how this resolves. So he does interrupt creature in the process of casting a spell. If it's lower, its spell fails, has no effect. It is casting a spell of the thing, or lower. It's basically casting it at equal levels of what this is. So you see as the flame is about to engulf you, he starts to move his hand like this, and you see the flames just into nothingness and just disappears.
Whew.
And you see the flame skull.
19.
The flame skull goes.
Go team.
Says, "Oh, that's I wasn't expecting that. That could have been bad."
Yeah.
Yeah. Would somebody kill that thing already?
Aurora, it's your turn.
Been trying. Keeps running away from me.
So, seeing all of that go on, I'm like, I might want to stay back here.
Okay.
Somebody needs to be alive when all of you get killed.
To loot your corpses.
Right.
Deleted. Okay, so
Now I'm gonna move a little bit, but
Okay.
I can't do anything. I can't see him even if I move
the
up
beauty
to the
is
door.
you could move up to the door, and normally he would be probably have cover, but you do have sharpshooter. So as long as you
Oh,
can
that's
see him,
true.
you can shoot him.
Well, he's floating above
And
it
you
now,
don't-
right?
He's floating above it. And note
Okay.
that sharpshooter, you don't have to cast or use sharpshooter in order to get the effect of being able to shoot him no matter what. That's just automatic. Part of the feat. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Sorry, my thing keeps closing on me, so I have to keep
That's
opening it again.
I feel like the longer that Roll20 is open, the more drift it has, where when I click things take longer. But I remember that Zaran was standing there.
Nope.
Whoop. So the
Second
6. Go ahead and roll your second attack. So he kind of shoots, and at this point, you know, he's kind of like a serpent, just kind of floating in the air and bobbing and weaving.
Nice cackle.
So you're shooting on this particular one, but as you do so, the bowstring grazes. It basically, instead of firing, it kind of misfires. So instead of getting the knock of the arrow, you didn't quite get it in. The bowstring snaps and basically like gives you the. If you've ever shot a bow and arrow before, getting hit by the string on your forearm is not the greatest feeling in the world. And roll a 1d4 for like a snapping damage.
Snapping damage.
I don't know what you want to call it. It's not bludgeoning. It's not piercing. Snapping. So it's not that bad, but you do feel that's going to leave a nice contusion on your arm.
You want me to take 2 off of me?
Yeah. Just as the effect of stop shooting. All right, Zaran. He kind of seeing the situation is going to.
He snaps his fingers and Flame Skull disappears.
Just kidding, guys. That was mine. He is going to.
I didn't know he had the Infinity Stones.
Roll it.
Yeah, let me do a real quick roll for him just to see what path. All right. Okay. So he is going to return in kind. So kind of still keeping that movement going. You see the same fisher that brought the fireball in. He's going to return the favor and fire the fireball back at it. So I'll cast that at the 3rd level.
Jeez.
Wow.
And you just make a
Raise your hand if you would have died.
Seriously, it's a lot of dice, and that's at the 3rd level.
Just Aurora.
That wasn't at any higher level.
Such your
That
big
was,
arm.
that was the base level for that. So let's see. First, I need to check. So as it comes and it hits this flame skull, you see, you hear the impact and the room just ablaze as it kind of goes. But then you see, as the you would normally expect to see it kind of go outward. You see it like as it gets sucked up by this flame skull. It seems to be immune to fire.
Oh, nah, that's just unlucky.
Zaran's like, rat.
I like
Justice
ice.
effort.
Oh, jeez.
Landon, it's your turn. Ben Feen's next.
Alright.
Landon,
I
you
got-
can't shoot him with your head in the wall. Come on.
I peek around my around my shoulder, and I see him floating up there, and I'm like, ah, time to redeem myself.
I'll
You're
shoot
being
another
so
2
hard on
arrows.
yourself for an impossible shot that you missed there.
So this time, I remember that I've got a +1 longbow, and I remembered that I had my +1 enchanted arrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out now that I've got my.
Okay,
You know,
go ahead.
my
You take the enchanted
bad
arrow.
roll out of the way.
You pull it out. This particular shaft being a lot more finely crafted than the others that you've used over the years, and you feel that it's much lighter than the rest of them. But you get the sense that when it hits, it's going to hurt. 15 hits. Roll for damage, and then roll damage for make sure you add the damage for the arrow and the added. Let's see, the +1 is for
The +1's for the attack
attack
itself,
itself.
right? And so
Attack
it's
and
another
damage.
I believe it's yeah, it's
really?
attacking and
Yep.
damage, so you get
so
to
it's
add the
+2
+1 to both.
damage?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. So that's
So
11, 13. Right?
Right.
All right. So you shoot it. You shoot this particular arrow. On click, click. -11. All right. So this arrow, as it kind of passes through, and it hits you, you see the shaft start to speed up in the air. Like normally, you kind of see it whistle and go kind of a constant speed. This one just hits the flame skull. You see part of his cheekbone is cracked and damaged from this, and you see a grimace. Well, if a skull could grimace, his fire eyebrows grimace at you. He doesn't like you, Clay. Doesn't
I'm
like.
gonna take my second shot
Roll for damage.
With
or
a
attack.
normal arrow.
with a normal arrow.
The normal arrow, 14 does hit. Roll for damage. Oh, I'm sorry. Roll again. You have disadvantage because he is under the effects of blur.
Oh, I thought he wasn't anymore.
Blur is lasting 1 minute.
It is +1 if that helps.
No, it does not. It doesn't hit. So you kind of shoot where you would where it would normally connect, and it just passes through the form of this.
Is blur a concentration spell?
Blur is a concentration spell, but I would also need to have you re-roll the first one if I have him.
No, I was just curious.
It is a concentration spell, yes. So if he does take damage, just because instead of retconning, I'm just gonna roll for that. Okay, so you hit that. Venfina, it's your turn. Dormon, you're on deck.
Okay, so is he floating above this thing?
Yes, he's above the bellows.
How far above?
The bellows itself, I think we said it was 2 feet off the ground, and if it was fully extended, it could be anywhere from like 6 to 10 feet. Right now, it's probably about 7 feet where he's at. So 9 feet,
So
about
if
10
I
feet
got
roughly.
on top of that, could I reach him?
If you were trying to get him, yeah. If you're trying to physically melee range.
All right. I think I'm just gonna.
Are you swapping weapons?
Yeah, I do need to do that.
Are you
Does
switching?
that work?
Are you switching to your glaive? I remember.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'll deem it as a switch. Fine.
Okay.
What we've been doing
I'm
up
just
till now,
gonna
so we'll just
face
keep doing
step myself on top of there,
Okay, you're gonna get up though. Go for it.
and then I'm gonna do an attack with my glaive.
Okay. Go ahead and so you're blinking up there. You said
No, I'm gonna just myself.
you're going to
So-
climb up there, or are you going to jump up there? What's the?
I'm gonna face step up there.
Okay, face stepping. Got it. Go ahead and face step up there. Where's your marker?
I'm underneath Vidax.
Oh no, you're not. You're way back here. There you are.
Oh, I thought it was.
Okay, so you go ahead and your face step up there. Boof, bamf. You are now in melee range.
Right, and I'd like to do my.
What effect is your face step under it currently?
All right, up to 2 creatures within 10 feet must succeed in a wisdom saving throw or be charmed.
You get up there, and you usually expect someone to at least have some kind of mental condition. The second you get up there, that wave of charmingness, I guess,
Charminess.
you see it pass through the flame skull with no effect.
Okay, whatever. All right, so I'm gonna attack him with my special. Where is it? Okay, it's my divine smite with my melee.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack. And then if it does hit, then add your divine smite. 13 just hits. You hit him.
Good job.
All right.
And he is an undead, I presume.
Yes, he is undead.
All
Tiny
right.
undead.
So it's 20 then.
Okay, so 20 damage. So as you kind of come up there, you guys see just kind of a rustle of feather, or of you're in autumn, right?
Correct.
Of leaves as she kind of comes out, and you see the form of Enfia appear with her retribution strike coming down from behind on this evil creature. And as it hits, you see the flame skull. From the people in front, you see pinpricks of light start to fly out from the, god rays essentially coming out. Then your typical cracked
Nice.
as it becomes a heaping pile of soot and ash on the ground once again. Upon closer inspection, once this kind of happens, you hear Zaron come out and say, flame skulls are known to be able to rejuvenate, that similar to that of a phoenix. If you'd like, I can help dispel it permanently.
Please do.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there could be another gold piece if it came back.
No. And I'm just gonna say no, and then I'm gonna turn around and march back into the room to start getting my armor on.
So he's gonna Zaron's gonna approach and, my lady, do you by chance have any holy water?
He's speaking to me, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I do. Let me look.
It was quite the impressive display, my lady. Maybe.
Stop it!
I was looking for the god that you serve. The god that you serve. Steinrecht. If you do not, then I can do it the hard way. It's much easier.
Yeah, I don't think I do. I have incense.
I can't remember which. It's clerics. No, never mind. I think it's clerics that can purify or water. I don't think it's paladins.
I'm trying to look at
Specific
that.
skill.
I'm trying to see if it's a specific spell.
I remember that being something, but I don't remember what the.
We watched this monster movie the other day, and they made holy water to kill a vampire with just adding salt to water or something.
Jeez.
I don't remember.
All you gotta do is bless it.
Yeah.
blessed.
Pray to your deity and say, "Bless this water." I don't know. I'm no cleric or anything, but
Well, he says, "Well, my lady, it's no problem. Please give me just a moment if you will stand back from." And he's gonna cast Dispel Magic at the 3rd level.
Do I need to do any kind of thing for getting down?
Yeah, it's like a 10-foot drop. So I mean, if you want to climb down slowly, it's shorter down here where Gormorland climbed
How
down.
much time is he giving me to hop down?
So
He'll wait till you're down.
Just as an FYI, there's 2 different answers to this question.
Go for it.
According to the player's handbook, a cleric or paladin may create holy water by performing a special ritual. The ritual takes 1 hour to perform and uses 25 gold pieces worth of powdered silver, and requires the caster to expend a 1st level spell slot. But then in Xanthar's Guide to Everything, they added a spell that's just create holy water.
So if you have the spell, you can just cast it. Otherwise, it's a ritual that you just
actually
do.
the spell that they made is that ritual, that special ritual. It still takes an hour.
Okay, so it still takes an hour. Yeah. I'd say it wouldn't be if it takes that long. I think it's fine. I don't know if it's so in the player's handbook. It was not a spell, right?
Yeah, it was just a special
We'll go with that
ritual,
one,
but
then.
it still took a first level spell slot in order to
Okay.
cast.
Yeah, we'll go with that one then. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. So he waits for you to get down. At this point, you see him kind of, taking different sigils and what have you, pulling himself together, and then you hear, you see him kind of put his finger to his pursed lips, and then kind of puts his hand on the ashes and says, "Begone." You see all the ashes that were just kind of sitting there in cinders. You can still see like burning coals all just dissipate, and it is permanently gone. For the second time. So you guys are able to kill this, and you hear again in the echoes of the hallways. You hear the distant batting of wings of bats, of sturges, of many other accomplishments. You hear and you feel the pressing need that again you feel like you're being watched. You feel like there is a presence that in this area that is watching you very intently, and that's where we're gonna leave it for this.
Alrighty. Nicely done.
Sweet.
All right, so let's reconcile really
Or
quick.
not loot, experience.
Experience, yes, because Zaran stole the loot
Yeah.
while everyone was sleeping. So experience points. That would be 5 bugbears. Pulling it open here. 1 moment. See if I can do it faster here or here. There it is. Got it. So this is going to be divided by 1, 2, 5, 4, 5. I think I'm on here. 5 people divided by 5. So that is 1,000 divided by 5. That's going to be 250 experience per person for the
Nice.
dispatching of the bugbears. And then for the flame skull, you're right, 200. So this next one,
What did you say? 200?
200 per person. My wife is correct. She corrected my math.
Way to
Divided
go.
by
Correcting the math
5.
there.
Less XP. And then for the flame skull by himself, that's an additional 220 experience points. Each person. It's 1,100
Alright.
total, but and that and you also are granted the knowledge of how to permanently get rid of flame skull.
Flame skulls.
All right, good work, everybody. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much resolves everything from inside the game. I'm glad we didn't seem to have any super technical issues other than Discord being dumb. What is the schedule looking like for everybody in the coming weeks? Is it the 14th, 21st, or the 28th?
I can't do the 28th. I know that one.
Okay,
I could do the 21st pretty easily.
21st. We've got someone to propose 21st. Do we have a first, second, third, and fourth?
Let me check.
Becca, we don't have anything going on Fridays, right?
What were the days?
The 14th or the 21st? The 21st is the specific one we're looking at right now.
I should be good for the 21st.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we can do the 21st.
All right, we have a quorum, a accord. Everyone is good for the 21st. I'll send a text message, making sure that way if need it, that's in text. Yeah, so I guess thank you everybody who came and subscribed. We actually had a paying subscriber come and join our stream tonight. So thank you, Medical Mischief,
Nice.
for using your Amazon Prime membership, your free subscription that you get from that. So thanks to everybody else who's watching. If you do have an extra Amazon Prime subscription you'd like to give to us, it goes toward getting better audio equipment for our Thursday stream, giveaways, all that kind of fun stuff. So again, just another shout out for all our new followers. Thank you. And those who want to participate in Extra Life, if you want to be a part of the team, or if you just want to participate by sharing the link that is in the description on the Twitch page, twitch.tv/fuzzy-squirrel. So thanks for coming, guys. Bye.